And welcome to another episode of Zelda.
Why did you just spread your
Wind
arms
Waker.
out? Nobody saw that.
I saw it.
Because I was doing
But
it
you
to
don't
you.
know.
It was for my benefit.
I am welcoming the both of you to this wonderful adventure of the Wind Waker.
Yes, and obviously I've played this before, if my save files are not an indication of that.
Or it just shows someone's save file from
Oh!
game.
It's secondhand, obviously.
This digital copy that came with this Switch. This
Okay.
or Wii U. This special edition Wii U.
Wait,
Oh,
so-
yeah. Yeah, this is the Wind Waker Wii U. It's not stickers. No, what? No! Come on! Really?
Apparently, your
We can't
name
be
is
clever or witty.
No, you can
Like, no, I can't change it! No!
No! No return! We have to tell
I want something witty. If we're gonna do something like this, it's got to be.
But I
wit.
want to tell the story of farts.
Hey, yo, girl was
We
gold.
already used you, girl!
Yeah, I know. We can't. I'm just saying that was a good example because it worked with everything.
But
Farts is like, oh, hey, farts.
that's
But-
funny!
Ugh.
I'm also 12, so...
You know what?
Just gonna go with it, huh?
Yep. I guess we're gonna be farts.
Normal mode?
I got an option.
It's too late. Yes,
was
there
an
was an
option?
option at the beginning to change it to hard.
You could have been hero mode.
Oh.
That doesn't give
No.
hearts and makes you want to
Nope.
die.
Yeah. I like Zelda,
What's
but I'm
happening?
just a.
We all know this
Someone
story.
want to tell me what's happening?
Yeah, there's Link.
I'm
There's
sorry.
a-
Did your eyeball stop working?
Yes.
There's hieroglyphics in fucking Egypt and shit.
Actually, wish I could skip. Oh my God, I can.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna skip
Okay.
that.
No lore for anyone.
It's Zelda. What lore is there?
Okay, and
There's
people
a lot
have
of
had
them.
almost 20 years to play this game
That
now.
doesn't
I don't feel
matter.
bad for skipping that.
Tell that to the person who is 17.
That opening sequence is ridiculously long. It's
And
nice, but it's long.
unnecessary.
Yes.
It's the same intro as every Zelda game since fucking Link to the Past.
Okay.
Yes.
And tell that to the person who hasn't played ever a single Zelda game except Breath of the Wild, which has no story.
Then they need to go play another fucking Zelda
Breath
game.
of the Wild has a story. It's just that the story is very bland, and it's not. There's
It's-
not.
it's
Really,
not
it's
bland,
it's kind of like wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
It's not even that. It's kind of like, I hate to, I hate relating things to Dark Souls, but it's very Dark Souls in that the story is layered in all of the books and all the people and all the telling.
Well, that and they're like, oh, okay,
which
well,
is a neat way to tell a story.
it's kind of like, oh, here's your story. Go save this girl and do this thing, and you're done. Like, there's not really.
Well, okay, yeah.
There's nothing to it.
As far as story goes, you're right, but there's a lot more world building.
Yeah, it's. Well, part of the problem is that with Breath of the Wild is that they sacrificed a lot of the things that Zelda normally is. So they took a lot of the elements of Zelda out of that game. Like, Wind Waker had, like, a really good story. Twilight Princess had a really good story. Ocarina of Time had a good story. And Breath of the Wild story was very
See, this
kind of...
is where I'm gonna...
like, would you like a side of fries with that?
this is where I'm gonna be that guy. Are they good stories?
I think they are. I mean, for
They're
me as a
stories
Zelda
as
fan,
opposed to
yes. If
climb
you're not
this
a Zelda
rock wall
fan,
ring.
that's fine.
Like, I'm trying not
But-
to... I'm trying not to overboil it. But...
So-
no, hang on. You tell me that Ocarina of Time is more than chosen hero is chosen, does some errands, skips forward in time to save the world.
It's not. It's not more than that.
Okay.
But
I'll
there's
give you
more
that.
depth
It's
to
not.
it.
But there's more depth.
I will, yes. Okay, I can concede that. but
Wind
it's-
Waker had very good character development, and so did Twilight Princess. Midna, Tetra, those are your two examples of good character development. A character has these bad traits about them, they grow, they develop. They were original, they were interesting. Breath of the Wild didn't have none of that.
But I disagree because you got to meet all of the old heroes.
Well, you did, but they didn't have character development.
No,
they just were who they
were
were.
there. They
They
died,
did in the
and then
DLC.
they're ghosts.
I'll say I didn't play the DLC.
Yeah, the
I
DLC
didn't even finish the game. I got through... I rescued 3 of the, what do they call them? The machine things?
The divine beasts.
Yeah, I did 3 of the Divine Beasts. I don't think I did the 4th one. So I played most of that game, and I know how it ends, and I know all that stuff, and I was just like, I can't do this.
I beat it.
So I just
I
stopped.
almost beat it on Master Mode. I did Trial of the Sword or whatever it is. And I messed around with the second
Well, you
DLC.
just missed it. He said, Oi! Farts!
Aw.
Oh, I thought he was gonna call me farts again. Okay, well.
Anyway, I think that DLC did a really good job of showing the champions and their stories and stuff. And
I did actually see, now that you mention it, I didn't play it, but I did actually see part of the DLC with Urbosa.
Yeah.
I do like her.
Yeah, she's cool.
I like her. She was
well, even
cool.
her great-granddaughter, whatever, in that area, in the Goron village.
Yeah.
Or not Goron, I'm sorry. Shit.
Ready to go grab it, farts?
Gerudo village, yes. Was pretty cool. She was a fun character. They had fun characters,
Why can I
but it
not?
wasn't much
Oh, because I
development.
don't know right from left.
Or are you gonna go after all the pigs?
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it! Ah!
I'm sorry, what?
It didn't give me the option. Alright, come on.
Pick up.
Pick! I did! Okay.
You got the pig.
No! Damn you! Damn you! You old fucking fart! I just spat across the room. That was not intentional. There we go. I'm not saying that Breath of the Wild is a bad game. I'm gonna say it's a very highly overrated game. Like, it's
That's the thing.
very
its core
overrated.
gameplay is fine. The size of the map, fantastic.
Talk to me!
Breaking stuff is kind of annoying.
Breaking stuff?
Yes, every single item in the game breaking.
Oh, the weapons.
Yeah, I didn't like that mechanic. And
Especially considering the Master Sword runs out of
It's
juice.
hard to consider an alternative, though, because otherwise you pick up your weapon and it's like, look at me, I'm overpowered.
I'm okay with that mechanic in another game that already had it established. I am not okay with it in a franchise that has not done that for that many years.
Yeah, but
because that's a
also-
very big mechanic to just suddenly throw on people.
But also, if you're just, playing Zelda, you got the same thing for 30 years. I mean, I understand innovation.
Well, see, they did though. They did that with the open world that you were talking about. Like that was a cool innovation. This world is kind of like Skyrim or whatever. Like it's. Can I make you drop that? Can I make you? Oh, farts! Sorry. Had a burrito last night.
But if you're gonna overhaul the entire thing, why not have some kind of mechanic like that? Otherwise,
Well, that's the thing
you're
though.
gonna fight
is
with a stick for a while, and then you're gonna look up. Oh, where do I get the Master Sword? Then you get the Master Sword, and then it totally.
I feel like they tried to innovate
No,
too
'cause
much. That's
You
my
just make-
problem with it.
Just like any of these games where you get gradually better weapons.
Because
that
you'll
deal
notice
more
that the
damage.
complaints that I do have about that game are not about the open world,
The
and
open
it's
world
not
is
about
great,
that.
the-
Open World was great.
It's
a
not
lot
about the
of
graphics. The graphics were
features
beautiful.
Are great. The graphics
It
were
was
great.
just,
the
I
costumes
thought
were
the story
great.
was very bland and didn't have a lot of
The cooking was
substance
cool.
to it. And I didn't like, I mean, the weapon mechanic was not, it's not like that was a deal breaker. I was like, okay, I don't like this, but fine, whatever.
My thing with it is the Master Sword's supposed to be the ultimate
there's a
sword.
pig here.
It shouldn't
And it
run out
breaks.
of juice and have to recharge.
Ah!
The
he's up there.
Hylian shield is like the epitome of shields, and it can break.
But I will say that Hylian shield, you have to put it through some shit for it to break.
But it shouldn't have to.
Spamming the button, come on! Ah! Come on.
I understand it breaking as a balancing mechanic.
No, it's not a balancing
It is.
mechanic.
It's totally a
It's
balancing
not.
mechanic.
It's literally not.
Fuck!
Because, like I said, otherwise you just have the
You
Master
can't
Sword.
get those things until
Just
far
fucking-
enough into the
Aha!
game that it matters.
The Master Sword, yes. The Hylian shield, you can walk up to it right after you
Yes,
leave the.
you could technically go up and get it. Whoop-de-doo. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't break. It's
But then you can go get another one.
I think the
But
problem
you
with
shouldn't
what
have to.
Andrew was saying earlier, well, not the problem, but a good. No, I meant I'm turning it around because what I mean to say is one of your points that you had made about Ocarina of Time kind of having that problem with somewhat of a bland story. I think the issue was a lot of those older games like that, they hadn't learned to be really elaborate with the dialogue yet, or like go super in depth with story. Like not just Zelda as a franchise, but a lot of the older games didn't really flesh out a lot of stories.
You're gonna tell me that Mega Man Legends had bad writing?
I'm just saying.
Because it.
I think that's part of why Ocarina of Time had that problem because of when it was made. The game is great, and if they took it now and they remade it and they fleshed out all that stuff, it'd be even better. But
I do not want to see a remake of Ocarina.
no, I don't unless they just redo like the graphics or whatever. But I don't want them to overhaul the. I want them to just leave it like it is.
Yeah, I have no desire for an Ocarina remaster.
That
remake.
translates.
I'd
So he
definitely be
sucks
okay
at
with that.
Ocarina.
But
No, I'm not bad
Nope,
at
it's
it.
too late. It's been proven.
I mean,
The canon is there. You suck at Ocarina.
But I mean, if you wanna talk about a Zelda game that's not really like a Zelda game, then Majora's Mask is gonna be like the #1 because I mean, Zelda wasn't even fucking in that game, with the exception of a flashback.
I mean,
Well,
we can talk about all of them.
Dies.
We can talk about all the spin-offs because I mean, at that point,
Now the Wand of Gamelon.
Zelda, Zelda 2.
The Unforgiven. We do not speak of that.
Zelda 2 wasn't supposed to be Zelda 2, right?
Well, yes, but it
I mean,
is.
Majora's Mask was this is just an opinion, it's not a fact, to me, a fantastic game. I love that game.
Oh, everybody loves
It's
Majora's
very
Mask.
fucking
As
creepy,
is
like, it's
just about
wonderful,
everybody.
but, I mean, as far as Zelda goes, no, it's not really, like, it has the Zelda mechanics, but it's not, you know.
I would say Zelda is
Look at
just
your
defined
own
more by the
brand.
mechanics than the traditional. Everything except Breath of the Wild
Farts.
is defined by the mechanics.
Cut these on. Well, yeah, it's defined by the
Rather than
mechanics,
the story.
but, like, you know, Zelda at its core is almost always like, you know, this is Link and this is Zelda, and Ganon's gonna try to blah blah blah, and now you gotta camp and kill him, whatever. Now, I want the Triforce so I can take over the world. That's kind of Zelda in a nutshell.
Except for
In a lot of ways.
Except for when it's not.
Except for when it's not, but a lot of the times that's what Zelda is at the core. Hanging the family shield on the wall as decoration is another tradition that has been carried down from those days. And I just changed in front of you, Grandma, even though I've gone through
How do I
puberty, and that's
look?
weird.
Would you do me?
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
Isn't that nice, farts?
Aren't those farts nice? They suit you perfectly. A perfect smell. I mean fit.
And you thought that name was silly.
It is silly.
I've laughed at it every time.
I was going to make your favorite soup for you tonight and keep referring to herself in third person.
Maybe that's not the grandma.
Now go get your sister. Okay. We're probably gonna fight right now. How do you say that name?
Errol.
Ariel.
Do you?
Errol.
Is that how you say it?
Errol.
I've always said Ariel, but
Ariel.
that's the thing with Zelda games is it's hard to tell. You can never tell how you pronounce anything.
Except nowadays when that's never going to happen anymore because everything is fully voice acted.
Everything.
Yeah, okay. I was actually okay when they said, "Oh, we're gonna voice act a Zelda game with Breath of the Wild." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool."
And that I will bet a large amount of money that I know exactly where you're going with this.
The minute Zelda opened her mouth, I said, "No!" I turned it off. I was like, "Nope, this is horrible. I hate it."
It wasn't that bad.
It was bad.
It wasn't that bad.
The British accent really, really drove that home.
Sir, do you have a tumor?
It's attached
It's
to
big
a
brain
stick.
time.
Do we need to get you to the doctor?
You have just targeted me. Actually, it looks like the tumor targeted you.
Oh my god.
Cancer jokes, all of them. Hey, I'm a former cancer survivor. I can say that.
A former
Wait,
survivor.
I
Please correct that.
I'm a cancer survivor. I can say that.
I'm a former cancer
Shut up!
survivor. I'm dead.
Alright, can I get my sword now?
Welcome to Ranging and Gaming, where we play with a ghost.
That's actually what the G stands for. Raging and Ghost.
Raging and ghost. I love how those shark faces in the background are just kind of like, ah!
Yep. That's what sharks do when they open their
When
mouths.
did you get so old? You must build strong muscles from now on. Strong muscles!
And he was muscle.
I was just trying my rolling. You were not rolling. You were shoving. Allow me to teach it to you. Okay. Sure. Ah!
You broke
no,
all
I
his
can't
shit!
get the sword until it...
You broke all his shit! You broke all our shit!
He's very high
His
strung.
shit.
He locks himself in his room. He's quite wise, but with that big head of his, he's hardly accommodating. He's so very feeble. Shame to call him my brother. Well, you're a piece of crap, aren't you?
Well, his brother's a piece of shit.
Well, his brother is just big brain time.
Yeah,
No, I
his
don't need
brother's
to
just
practice.
alive.
I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to go drive forward the plot so I can get off this island.
Plot. Well, you could just
Plot?
do it. You could just do what Linkus does in his speedruns.
I'm the main character. The plot will have to find me eventually.
Just do what Linkus does in his speedruns. Yeah, but in the water.
Having a seizure!
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but in the water. I don't know if it works on the HD version.
Probably not.
I bet it does.
Well, you could probably get it to do it, yeah, if you persisted enough.